Banking reports show financial institutions have been closing at faster rates, especially since the pandemic. In some rural areas, access to broadband is also spotty, forcing many people to drive longer distances or make the switch to online financial services.
News 8's Amanda Porter spoke with Project Green, a local resource to help people learn financial literacy. She has a closer look at the issues some people in urban and rural areas sometimes face and some local solutions.
The state of banking has shifted to more online services since the onset of COVID-19. A number of branch losses were some of the largest banks in the country, according to the Federal Reserve of Philadelphia. And most branch losses and desert growth happened in higher income, suburban, and predominantly white communities. Rural communities in West Michigan, like Newaygo, Ionia, and Ottawa counties, have the potential of a banking desert in certain areas.
The state of Michigan reported recently that it costs Michiganders about $3,000 a year in alternative financial service fees when they don't have access to traditional financial services.
A banking desert is defined as a census tract without a physical branch within a certain radius. 2 miles for urban communities, 5 miles for suburban, and 10 miles for rural communities. Broadband access can impact rural residents who need online banking. Now, Michigan as a whole fares well in banking access, according to Patricia Herndon with the Michigan Banking Association.
There are all kinds of opportunities for people to still bank and still connect with a person in a rural environment. Most people I'll use the Upper Peninsula as an example, are used to driving maybe more than 10 miles to bank, but they're also used to driving more than 10 miles to go to the grocery store. So that is something they've become accustomed to, but we do support the growth of broadband access and the reliability of broadband in those rural areas, absolutely.
Further study is needed on banking closures, but we do see some shocking statistics. Areas with high concentrations of lower income, Asian, Black, and disabled residents, as well as racially diverse areas, lost branches at a disproportionate rate, the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia reported. In Michigan, Project Green, the Grassroots Economic Empowerment Network, is a local organization working to combat systemic banking barriers.
Our vision is turning everyday people into money heroes, and our mission is helping families to rewrite their financial legacy.
Michigan has created programs for economic advancement.
They are encouraging financial institutions to lower the barrier so that people can access accounts without many of the things that you mentioned. So some of those standards include accounts that have no overdraft, account activation, closure, dormancy, inactivity, or low balance fees. These accounts also have limits on ATM fees. There's a limit on minimum opening deposits. It's $25 or less. And there's a limit on monthly maintenance fees.
On the state of Michigan's website, you can find a list of banks and credit unions that are participating.
But I would encourage people to think about and actually to look at where the branches are located with whichever institution they're considering, because there are some great credit unions that have great products, but their locations are not easily accessible in the 49507 zip code. But on the flip side, there are great banks that have brick and mortar locations that may not have the accessible credit or accounts that people need. So I just encourage people, again, to start with the state of Michigan's website, look at the accounts that's offered there, and look at where the branches are located relative to their work and their home.
Reporting in Grand Rapids, Amanda Porter, News 8.